Hello, everyone. Hello. Okay, so just making sure this is my first live I'm going here on my YouTube channel. So welcome, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Still trying to get everything a little situated here, but because at first it kept saying that it was doing something weird. So anyway, here we are. All right, everyone. I'd like to talk to you all today about your job, the job that you hate going to. I'm sure that there may have been a job, if not others, that some of us was a little apprehensive, or we found challenging to go to each and every day, or the days that we're scheduled to work, that is. All right, so I'd like to just share. Well, first off, maybe let's just think about what are some of the reasons why we may not like going to our jobs, and or we might hate going to our jobs. Like, there's some reasons. Like, we always know that just saying that we hate our jobs, that doesn't mean that we actually hate our job. It could just be for different reasons, like I like to hear from you. What are some of the things that, not that you may not hate the job, but you might hate the things that go on the job, if that makes sense. You may hate the environment, especially if it's toxic. If it's toxic, you may really hate the toxic environment that you go to. I made a video. It was a short video, but I like to elaborate a little bit on it and how sometimes we have challenges on these jobs. And oftentimes it's just good to sit back and pretty much think about things before we make a move, because there are going to be times where we feel like we want to make a move. There are going to be times where we get frustrated. That's life. Life be lifing. And so we're going to have that feeling that sometimes things are going to just be a little too much, right? Well, in my other video, I mentioned a few pointers, and I like to elaborate again on those things. And the one thing that really stands out for me is talking to God about it. And when we talk to God about it, it's because we're leaving ourselves out of it and we're allowing Him to come in and move. Because sometimes we've prayed. There's some things that we may have even prayed about, and we don't always give God the chance to move on our behalf. And what I mean by that is sometimes God may want you to stay on the job. He may want you to stay on the job. And instead of you leaving, He may very well move some things around. He may move some people out of the picture. That boss, that toxic boss that you have, that constantly is wearing on you all the time, those coworkers, those messy coworkers, sometimes He may move them out. So if this is a job that you've been establishing, some jobs you've been called to do, some jobs God wants you to be there. And you just might have to do a little extra in terms of praying so that you can see God's results. You can ensure that you will get God's best results, because sometimes we move a little too fast. And when we move fast, we don't get a chance to see God's best. We don't get a chance to see Him move on our behalf. And again, it's not you. It just might be the other things that are going on that job that is causing you to hate. You may like the job. You just might very well like the job. You might even love it for some. You might love the job. But it's the distractions. It's the distractions being the people, because it's not really, I could say it's the people, but in a way it's not. It's because it's the things that's driving them. It's the spirit, the entities that are driving them to be who they are and be what they are. And so, that being the reason why we might hate our jobs, you might hate your job, has absolutely may not have anything to do with the job itself. All right. So then I made another point in terms of your goals and your talents and your gifts. You want to keep those things at forefront. You want to continue to meditate on those things because those things are going to keep you focused. Those things are going to drive you to be a better you, even if it is to stay on that job, because you have something else that you can think about besides work. We're more than just our jobs. We're not just our jobs. We are more than our jobs. And with that being said, we have outside lives, we have outside interests. So let's not allow these jobs to consume us in our mental, consume us in our physical, consume us emotionally, because we're not just our jobs. Our jobs shouldn't make us. We should make our jobs. We should make our jobs. When we set our feet on the place, when we enter into the place, we're not only going with ourselves, we're going with the Almighty God. We're going with His Spirit. We're going with His life. We're going with His peace. We're not just going to these jobs just to do it, to do a good job and then go home. We are also making an impact. We're making an impact because we're exemplifying Christ. We're exemplifying who He is. We're committing our work into the Lord when we go to these jobs. We're not just working for the boss or the man, as they say. We are working unto the Lord. So the spirit and the attitude that we have when we go to these jobs, it should not be the murmuring and complaining, but instead we should be grateful. Grateful that we're able to make an impact today. We're able to do our assignment. This is our assignment of God. For some of us, He's placed us in these jobs for an assignment. And if that's where God has placed you, no man nor woman can touch it. They can't do anything about it because it is God who is orchestrating it. Also made a point about making a plan, having a plan. You simply need a plan. And if you don't have a plan, how are you going to leave? How are you going to leave the job that you hate? How are you going to leave? You need to have something in place. You need to be ready. Sometimes we need to pivot. Sometimes you might need to change things up a little bit. Sometimes you might just need to change things altogether and pick up a new trade. Start a new career, something different. If it's not working for you on the assembly line, I'm just giving an example here, right? If it's not working for you there, if it's not working for you wherever you are, I don't want to just call out things right now, but I think you all have my point. If things are not working out for you, if you feel like you could be doing something else, by me, listen, go for it. Go for it. You owe it to yourself. What can you do? What can happen? What can happen if you try? What can happen? If it doesn't work, try again. There's always room for advancement in our lives. Always room for advancement. I recall being on several jobs that were toxic. They were toxic. And I'm not sure of how many of you may know this or have experienced this, but going to toxic jobs and being in toxic environment can really weigh on you. And that's one of the indicators, I should say, pretty much a top indicator that it's time to leave. It's time to leave the job. When you are sometimes you're dealing with people who are making it very difficult for you on a daily basis, where it's even I should say, or it's sometimes it takes a toll on you, and sometimes it just start trickling down to, your emotions, your mental, even your physical. And then you know that it's time to go. I also recall that I had mentally checked out. And that's pretty much what happened first. When you're ready to leave a job that's toxic, and it would be you pretty much check out. You're like, your body's there, but your mental is not there. You're not there mentally. And so when that happens, you know that very soon you will need to leave. You will need to leave. You will. The struggle is real. The struggle is very real. And no one should have to have the feelings of, I have to go to work today. Oh, I have to go to work today. These people's toxicity, I should be doing more. That's the other thing. Sometimes you have things and feelings that I should be doing more in my life. And that's when you'll start knowing too that it's time to leave, because sometimes you'll start feeling like, what is it going on? I mean, that's what I was feeling in some of the jobs I was in, that there's more. Lord, what else is there? There has to be more than this. Not saying that I felt like I was better than the job, I was too good for the job, but knowing that God had more for me. He had more for me. And when God has more for you, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There are times and seasons. He placed us in these jobs sometimes just for a time and a season. And then it's time to move on and do something else that he's called you to do, and allow some other people to come in and take that space. Take the space. Again, it's not a good feeling to have the thoughts or even have the feelings of going to a job that you hate to go to. It's not good. It's not a good feel. It's not a good thing for us to have to feel like, because again, the struggle, it's a struggle. It's a struggle getting up every day, trying to go to these jobs where you know that your boss, you have a toxic, you may even have a narcissistic manager, coach, lead person that you have to deal with every day, or not every day, but your work schedule. It's a struggle having to go to work every day, dealing with messy, controlling coworkers. They're looking for things wrong, like some of them, they're looking to set you up. They're looking to sabotage you. They're looking for ways to get you out of the establishment. Harassment, bullying. These are some of the things that I know you all would agree to, that you might feel like you hate your job. And again, it may not be so much as that you hate the job or the work. You might like the work. You might like working. We need to work. We all need to work. We do. There's no way to escape working. Like, we have to, I don't care what it is, even if it's being a YouTuber, whatever it is, if you're a coach, life coach, that type thing, whatever it is we're doing, even if it's not stepping our feet in an establishment, a brick and mortar place, we still need to provide for our families and, for things that we are doing and building, and whatever God has gifted us to do, however he's gifted us to sow, we still need to work. We still need to be able to have income coming in, right? So I want you all to just keep in mind that although there are reasons, that so many reasons why we can hate our jobs, there are a lot of other reasons why we may like our job as well. We might like our jobs, but it's because of the factors. And it's really sad for people who do like their job, who like going to work, I should say. You like to go to, we want to go to work. We like to go to work. But people, some people make it hard for you to go to work. They make it hard for you to go to work. But I like to piggyback off of my first point. My first point is trusting God. Trusting God. Because He knows what we go through each and every day on these jobs. He knows it. He knows the struggles. He hears the conversations that they have behind the closed doors. He sees the plots and the schemes that they plan for us, even before they happen. He knows it all. But we all have to trust. I want us to get to a place where we trust God to lead and guide us. To lead and guide us if we should leave the job we hate going to. Trusting God to place everything and everyone in His hands. Trusting God to give us the discernment that we need to go or stay. And if it is to go, the right timing. Because we want to do things in decent and in order. God is a God of decent and in order. And we don't want to be going out of the will of God, because sometimes these jobs, we might leave, and that's with anything. Sometimes we might leave one place, and again, what is the saying? Out of the pot into the frying pan. We don't want that. We don't want to do that. So we want to do things in decent and in order. And we want to consult God first, because He'll ensure. God will ensure. When He knows that we trust Him, seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto us. So once we seek Him, He's not going to lead us wrong. He won't lead us astray. But that's the best way. If you hate your jobs, if you hate going to your jobs, for whatever reason you hate going to your jobs, turn it over to God and He'll work it out. He'll work it out for you. He'll start moving things around and you'll be like, wow. Even if you're struggling now, it's never too late. It's not too late. It's not too late. It's not too late to trust God about it. All you need to do is knock, seek, and you shall find. You'll find your answers. God will make it so plain for you. And when it's all over, you will feel so good about that. You will feel, you actually will feel relieved. You will feel relieved. You will feel renewed, and you will feel empowered. And that's what you need to feel whenever you're in any type of predicament. On these jobs, all of us are replaceable on these jobs. But I also want you all to know that greater is He that is in you than he that's in the world. And you can take it on. You have it. God's given it to you. Whenever you go to your jobs, you're not working for these people. And I know, yeah, I might get a little pushback, but you really are not working for these people. You are, in a sense, because he's delegated them in these positions, in these establishments. But ultimately, you are working unto the Lord. And if you have that in your spirit as you work the job that you don't like and you hate to go to, or you work in these jobs that you hate to go to, and you keep that present, keep that at the forefront. I'm not working for man. I work unto the Lord. All right, everyone. You all take care. Till peace be multiplied. Till next time, I'll see you soon. God bless.